So, you hear people talking about, it can't be flash heavy, or, it
Mm-hmm.
can't be this, can't be that. With the right backlinking campaign, I can rank 95% of any term for any site.
Wow.
But you have, 5 or 6% of terms that have so much money thrown behind them, it's not even worth trying,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to understand, and you have to make the clients understand that some terms are $1 million keywords.
Right.
So, things like, you know, LA plastic surgery and things like that, where, the businesses are literally making millions of dollars off of those keywords, they're not going to let someone come in and grab that from them.
I see.
So, if you could imagine, how powerful it would be to be able to rank number one for the term, Viagra or penis
Mm-hmm.
enlargement or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're making millions of dollars every single month just on those terms.
Okay.
So what they'll do is they'll pay SEOs, 10, 20, $50,000 a month just to stay up there.
I see.
Because if you check the backlinks of, some of those sites, they'll have millions of backlinks.
Okay.
And if you consider that, Google only, shows a small representation of the actual
Right.
backlinks,
Right.
you know, if it shows a million backlinks, it might actually have 20, 30, 50 million backlinks going to it.
Sheesh. Okay. And that's why they teach us to, go for the little niches. But with you, we don't have to worry about niche research and getting the, long tail keywords necessarily. Is it?
As long as it's a local term,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's really not a problem.
All right.
Uh, you know, like I said, there are some terms like, LA plastic
Well, sure.
surgery,
Sure.
things like that, that is highly competitive and would be, you know, kind of like, searching for, you know, mortgage refinance.
Exactly.
But for the majority of, terms, it's not a problem.
Okay.
And I mean, I can literally rank for anything. It just depends on how much time and money is thrown behind it.
Sure.
So, because the backlinking network that I have set up, it's very sophisticated, but it takes a lot to run at the same time. But the biggest thing that nobody really knows about or talks about when it comes to getting a site to rank, it's not even the actual backlinks. You know, to an extent, it has to do with the quantity. For the you know most, it comes to the quality of those backlinks.
Right.
But you hear people talking about backlinks, but they don't talk about the importance of backlinking your backlinks.
Mm.
So whenever you backlink the backlinks, that's going to ensure that the original backlinks are going to be indexed. The more backlinks that you have coming to your backlinks, the higher your backlink pages are going to rank.
Wow.
So it's not about getting links, it's literally about building up your links.
Okay.
And that's what um, my linking network does. So I have servers in 20 different countries that all that they do is link and backlink the original backlinks. And with the more links that we get, you know, the more the pages are going to go up. So
Wow. Okay.
it gets kind of complicated, and that's why I hate for people to try to get into SEO,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's not the SEO in itself is difficult. It's very, very repetitive and very boring, but there's so many things that have to be done in certain ways, and it has to be consistent. And to get things to actually work and actually work together, that takes a long time. And
Okay.
like I said, I've been doing this since '96, and I mean I'm still learning.
Right.
So you know, I don't think that it would be fair for someone to think that they can read a couple ebooks and then just jump into it. So with dedicated servers and networks and everything else, there's still things that I have trouble with.
Well, it keeps changing all the time. So.
Well, the only thing constant is change,
Yeah, so
and
that's
we have.
part of the challenge. So, I mean, with even with your expertise, you got to stay on top of it. So, somebody coming in new is going to be just, yeah, it's just not going to be competitive. So, this is
I
powerful.
mean, people can learn the basics of SEO, and I have free books and courses and stuff like that
Hmm.
for the basics.
Hmm.
And as long as something isn't competitive, like
Hmm.
most local terms, people can rank for kind of easily. So if people want to get their feet wet or try to do their own thing, I can help them learn what they need to do. But when you get into medium and highly competitive words, you have to have a huge backlinking network or it's not going to work.
Okay. All right. That's very helpful for me to be able to explain this to clients. But it's a much stronger way for me to position it rather than to try to convince them or educate them about social media when they don't even they barely use email or whatever so
Right.
yeah, they just know that they should do it and they don't know why. So when you're talking about ROI, the thing that can be measured is well, we there's like analytics that they can look at, right? We can actually show them um, numbers and figures and data.
Well, for the SEO, we can.
Okay.
What we'll do is we can set up um, analytics reports and run a full analysis that will show what they're trying to rank for, where they're at now, where their competitors are, and then the report is all inclusive. It will actually give step by step instructions on what you need to do to get where you need to be, where you are now, and what it's going to take to get there.
Beautiful.
So if someone wanted to try to do their own SEO, the report will actually walk them through on how to do it.
I see. Okay. Great. Okay. Well, this is very exciting. I'm cool with it. Um, I don't know if there's anything else to ask right now on this session. I mean, maybe this is all we need to cover right now, unless you've been getting repeated questions from agents that you need to address at this point.
Well, I'm trying to think of things that I repeat a lot,
Uh-huh.
and I've already had a few calls today, so I'm trying to keep track of what was this call, and what was the ones earlier.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but the main thing to keep in mind is brand personalization is a family. It's not about competing with each other or anything like that. It's like-minded people with a common goal, doing their own thing in their own way. But with the strength of a network.
Okay. Well,
And anything that I can do to help anyone along, or to help them grow personally, or with their business, I'll do whatever I can.
yep, that's been clear all along. You're amazing. You've been
Well, thank you for that.
teaching us as we go. So, um, okay. So this is going to help me write the press release and stuff much better.
Okay, well, where everything has happened so fast,
Hmm.
basically as come up with things or figure something out, I've just been posting it.
Hmm.
So anyone in the group needs to watch. I wouldn't even say every day. I would say several times a day because I post a lot. And then once I get enough information together, then when I get the time, I'll compile it into an actual guide,
Okay.
because it's going to be a lot more helpful for people whenever they can just go through step by steps in a systematic way, and just go straight down the list and do what needs to be taken care of. Plus, I want to have a rough guide that other people don't talk about, that actually you know, goes into how to approach a customer, and what's the right things to say, and how to position yourself, because too many times, especially in this field, we have the tendency of wanting to impress,
Hmm.
or to say I can do this, or I do this, or these are my clients, or these are the stats, or these are the statistics, or
Mm-hmm.
these are the charts, or whatever, and shoving all this data down the customer's throat, and you know that's the complete backflip of what we should be doing.
Mm.
So if you approach a client and you simply ask them where they're at, and you see what kind of results they're getting now, and most of the time they don't even know what kind of results they're
Nope,
getting on their own program.
that's true.
So if you get their information and then you give them an idea of what you can do for them, but instead of overwhelming them with stats and all this other data, you put it in terms that they could understand and break it down and say, okay, well, you're spending an average of $800 a month here. You're getting an average of this many calls here. You're getting an average of this many clicks to your site here. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say, okay, well, we can cut that in half. We can double your visitors, and you should at least get the same amount of calls. That's terms that they can understand.
Right.
So now, if they are familiar with the internet, and some will already have a Facebook account, or be active on Twitter, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's okay to get more into the benefits of the social media.
Sure.
But if they're not familiar with social media, then focus on the local SEO, and then mention that we're going to set them up, you know, a branding program to go ahead and set up their initial account, so that way, you know, their name is secured and they don't have to worry about anybody taking it.
Okay.
Plus, one of my little ninja tricks is, even if someone doesn't want a Facebook page, I'll go ahead and set them up one anyway, and then I'll use it as a diary. So whenever I do jobs for clients, and I do certain things like posting citations, or building
Mm.
links or whatever, I'll write it in a way like I'm announcing it to the public.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, what I'm doing is I'm using that as a diary for the client to know exactly what I'm doing.
Brilliant. Once again.
So I mean, there's a lot of different ways to accomplish the same things, and you know I mean, if you're going to write everything down anyway, you might as well, build content at the same time, and, multi-purpose.
Absolutely. And then
And
they've
then,
got themselves a Facebook page and
exactly. And it's already, filled with some content. So if people actually,
yeah.
look at it, while you're building it, it's not going to be an empty page. Clients can refer to it to see a step-by-step guide of, what you're doing, and check progress. And then, whenever their online branding has come to term, then you can say, okay, well, I didn't even charge you for that Facebook page. We might as
Right.
well do something with it.
Right.
It takes less than a half hour to set up a page.
Yep. A
you know
basic one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
right. So it would be worth that extra half hour to show that you're willing to give that extra much, and then use that same page that you gave away for free anyway, and then use that as a tool, as a back end, to say, okay, well, now we need to manage this thing.
Yes. Absolutely. And it worked so well to watch that one SEO campaign you did of Joe's, where you'd post screenshots every once in a while. That was just a really smart way to do it. And
Well, the main reason I did that is because the problem that we have, being online, is so many people talk so many different things, and I mean, you never know what to believe.
hmm
you know, I mean, nobody's ever going to say, I have no clue what I'm doing, but please give me your money anyway. Everyone is going to say, grow 4 inches in 5 days, or get number one rankings in a week.
Yep.
You know, all these different promises that, after a while, we become immune to them.
hmm
So I don't make any comments or any reference unless I have something to back it up. And the reason for that is because I don't want anyone to ever doubt anything I have to say, because my integrity is more important to me than a dollar.
Okay.
So whenever I have screenshots, I'll go ahead and post them so that way, they can even follow me as I'm doing it.
Right.